All right, middles, let's take a look at your problem of the day. Remember, this week we are comparing fractions using concrete models. Our problem today asks us to compare 3/4 and 3/5, and we are going to use our fraction strips. Let's begin with the number 3/4. The number 3/4 is a fraction with what in the denominator? That's right, our denominator is 4. So which of our fraction strips are we going to use to represent 3/4? You guessed it, we're going to use our fourths, and they are green. Well, how many fourths do I need to represent 3/4? That's right, I need 3 of them because of the 3 in my numerator. Let's place them on the board. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Great job. All right, let's represent our second fraction, which is 3/5. Which fraction strip will I use to represent this number? You guess it, I'm going to use my fifths because of the 5 in the denominator. Well, how many fifths do I need to represent 3/5? Great job. I'm also going to use 3 of this tile because of the 3 in the numerator. 1, 2, 3. Now, although our fifths has a larger number in the denominator, it doesn't mean that it represents a larger piece. In fact, a larger number in the denominator represents smaller pieces of our whole. So if we're comparing 3/4 and 3/5, which number is greater? You got it. 3/4 is greater because our model is longer. Remember, when we're comparing with an inequality symbol, our alligator eats up the bigger number. And so what number are we eating up? That's right, we're eating up 3/4. Great job, middles. All right, senior scholars, 4th and 5th graders, here's your problem. It reads, a cheesecake recipe calls for 1 pint of heavy cream. If you plan to bake 10 cheesecakes for the community bake sale, how many quarts of heavy cream will you need? So let's start by looking at the units of measurement that we need to convert between. The first unit is pints, and the second is quarts. So that means we need to know how many pints are in a quart. Let's take a look at our gallon man. Do you see pint and quart anywhere on our gallon man? It actually appears in 4 places. The quarts are his shoulders, and the pints are like his arms, elbow parts. So what do you see with the quarts and the pint? Did you notice that 1 quart is equal to 2 pints? Great job. Well, let's go back to our problem. Our problem speaks about 1 pint. Well, if we have 1 pint, how many quarts do we have? Did you say that 1 pint equals half a quart? If you did, you're absolutely correct. All right, guys, well, let's think through this problem together. What is the first question I should probably ask myself? Did you say how many pints of heavy cream are needed to bake 10 cheesecakes? If you did, you're correct. Well, how many pints of heavy cream are needed to bake 10 cheesecakes? Well, let's take a look at our problem. I need 1 pint to make 1 cheesecake. So if I'm making 10 cheesecakes, I need 10 pints of cream to make 10 cheesecakes. Well, what's the next question you'd ask yourself? Because remember, we're trying to figure out how many quarts of cream we need. Did you ask yourself how many quarts are there in 10 pints? If you did, you're absolutely correct. So how many quarts are there in 10 pints? Well, let's go back to our work at the top. 1 pint is equal to half a quart, and 1 quart is equal to 2 pints. So what does that mean? It means that 10 pints, we'd look at a half quart, And if we multiply 10 times a half, we get 5 quarts. Therefore, we need 5 quarts of heavy cream in order to make 10 cheesecakes. Great job, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Calendar Math with Miss Udo. See you tomorrow.